Hi, my name's Danny Garrett with the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife. We're out here today on Deepwater Bay next to Cypress Island. About a week ago, there was an accidental net pin failure that caused the release of farmed Atlantic salmon into Puget Sound. Now, to help mitigate for any negative impacts these fish might have on the Puget Sound ecosystem, the agency is asking recreational anglers to get involved, angle for these fish, and help remove them. The most important thing for you anglers to remember when you come out here and you want to target Atlantic salmon is to follow the same rules you would if you were targeting Pacific salmon species. That means that you have a fishing license, that you have a salmon catch record card, that you're only fishing in an area or a river that is currently open for salmon fishing. And lastly, when you reach your limit of Chinook, coho, or pink, you have to stop fishing for the day regardless of how many Atlantics you've caught. This is so you and us stay in compliance with federal guidelines that protect wild salmon in Puget Sound.
And that's what we're looking for out here.
Okay, so let's talk about how to identify an Atlantic salmon. As you can see here on the gill plate, or what we call the opercle, we have these large black spots that pretty much cover the gill plate. This is very unique to Atlantic salmon. None of the Pacific salmon species look like this. There's a few other characters that distinguish these fish, but this is what I would look for. It's the most easily distinguishable, and it'll keep you from making a mistake on the water. Okay, so let's talk about tactics for catching Atlantic salmon. We've been talking to folks over the past week that have been most successful. These folks have mostly been anchoring up in fairly shallow water, 5 to 20 feet right off the shoreline, and throwing fairly small lures with light spinning gear. Point Wilson darts is one thing that's been really successful this past week. Another thing that was really useful for us today was the Dick Knight spoon. We caught 3 fish on this. And then Castmaster spoons have been another choice by some folks. To get some of this gear down and to cast it out a ways, we've been adding a weight, ½ ounce, ¼ ounce of weight to the line that allows you to cast it out further. And then we've been also noticing a lot of these fish are short biters, so they're coming up and following the lure but not committing. So make sure you slow your retrieve down and vary your retrieve throughout the day until you see what the fish want. Lastly, be ready to be checked by a krill clerk when you get back. They'll be interested in your Chinook and coho catches, but they'll also be interested in how many Atlantic you caught. Be sure to share your tips and tactics with them so they can pass it along to other anglers. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great rest of your salmon season.